When is that? Number 5:30, please stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Sharp,
Present.
Councilmember Arnold,
Here.
Councilmember Bryson, Councilmember Carlson,
Here.
Councilmember Carson. Present. Councilmember Gorman. Here. Member Taylor. Councilmember Woodhouse. Here. City Attorney Norton. Chief Kennedy.
Here.
Present.
Works Olson.
Here.
Brooke Olson. Here. Fire Chief Britton.
Here.
Admin Assistant Siebert. And
Right. I got a motion to excuse Keeling.
Make a motion to excuse Caitlin Bryson.
Second, all in favor? Thank you. All right, move on to the consent agenda. I'm actually gonna be removing the EV cars from the consent agenda today. After discussing it with the city attorney and our director of finance, that it's not feasible for our city right now. Monetary value is not gonna benefit us. We'll keep talking about it and get it more finalized for you to look at in the future. But right now, financially, it's just not, it's not set for our city. So right now, we don't have anything on the consent agenda, so I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
In a second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. It just, we looked at over the numbers, looked at financially, it's not right. It's not the right fit. The terminology is not right. It puts us in a bad situation. We don't want to. All right, we're gonna move on to the mayor's message. We have going on right now as I went to a lot of some meetings in the past year, AWC conference, City Clerk Chloe Olson went to as well, as Ms. Bryson was at one in Wenatchee. And they're focusing on risk management and how they can collate and basically integrate with city, because they are talking if there is going to be a power outage, they are going to enforce the power outage on purpose to do infrastructure upgrades. And they're saying that it might start on the eastern side of Washington and work its way down. They're physically going to shut them off. So they want to make sure that people are in place, people are ready for the event that something like this does happen, it will happen, that cities start to reach out to each other with interlocal agreements to establish, hey, if I need something, can I get it from you? If you need something, we have it for you. So one of the benefits of interlocal agreement with Moses is we have that ability to share resources now through that. But they want to emphasize that we need to start thinking more towards these interlocal agreements with adjacent cities to protect ourselves in the future, in case something does happen. The other things we're talking about at the conference is planning, creating new resolutions with our fee schedule rates. All the other cities are going through them as well. Come next January, the state is taxing just about everything on top of the earth. If there's a paperclip, they're gonna find a way to tax it. Airbnbs, they're gonna tax them. Homes, they're gonna tax the renters. They're gonna tax the homeowner for renting them out, or the Airbnb renting the Airbnb out. So these are a lot of things that we're gonna have to go through and sort. And as council, that will help too with the fee rate schedule. So hey, are we gonna be upside down if we don't change our fee rate schedule? We're working through the city, the campground. They're gonna be working on that here again soon. You will see the dog parks, and Eli, we here will talk about those as well. We're working on weekends, Mr. Valentine and myself, working on the budget, making sure it's properly going to be displayed for this coming Saturday. In the event that some council members can't be available, we will record it. And like I said, we will send it to you personally too, so you'll have the link immediately to review. And if you do need to make any changes, then we'll be able to take care of that for you. That's all I have right now. We're just moving forward. We're going to remove reports now, move on to reports of city officers, and we'll start with Director of Public Works.
Like Peter said, on the dog park, we understand we've got some disappointed residents at the lack of progress that we've made on the dog park, which has basically been nothing at this time. And Public Works shares in that disappointment. The mayor has been very clear that the dog park is one of his top priorities. We have had it on the schedule to start work on it multiple times, but unseen circumstances have postponed the work. Public Works must prioritize the workload, and unfortunately, we still have infrastructure issues that normally pop up, such as issues with sewer lines, lift stations, plant failures, water, equipment maintenance, and stormwater. These things have taken priority over the dog park. We have, though, made great progress with the Passport Center and the RV park, which should free up some manpower in the future. I can promise you it's the top priority of the mayor and myself to get to work on that. So we make progress every day on what's going on with storm drains and the plant and everything else, and with getting the Passport Center down. Hopefully we will see the guys up there more working. The guys completed some patches on Fifth Ave Southeast, asphalt patches, and Dogwood, where the gentleman that took the telehandler for a joyride damaged the asphalt. The guys completed a repair on a storm drain on Lake Shore. That was a 90% blockage on that drain. So that one's fixed. We're going to continue. Right now, we're focusing on obstructions on North Main and Second Southeast by the Aikens. There's a troubled area there. So those are the two areas. Our goal is by the time that we have another major storm, that we've got these areas so they drain themselves. I did go out the other night when it started raining. I was out about 1 a.m. in the morning, and I confirmed that the repairs that the guys have been doing are holding. The area at Buttercup that always floods was draining perfectly fine. So we are making headway on those. The lift station 2 went down again today. These guys check those lift stations every morning. They're down there checking these lift stations. And I know I've talked to everybody about how they call us when there's a problem. Well, by the time they call us, that means they're down. So the guys check them every morning. That way we can tell that there's 2 pumps in each station. We're able to tell if there's a problem coming before it's there. Jeremiah caught it this morning that we were down to 1 pump. And Brian, Dylan, and Jeremiah were able to get that fixed today. No outside contractors. They were able to put some parts together that we had in the shop, and they had it back up and running by about 1 o'clock today. So I can't say enough how valuable the crew that we put together is at Public Works, because we're able to go in and fix this stuff. A lot of times the day that it happens, we're not waiting for contractors to come in, and it's saving the city a ton of money because we're able to keep this just under payroll.
I'll hold you one note of that. I had 7 other cities come up to me during the AWC conferences saying, how is your city doing that? Our city's having trouble finding resources, finding vendors or contractors to come and do the work. And I said, and then Jeff told them, and they regurgitated right back to me. They do everything in-house. So if it breaks, they can fix it. If it needs to be replaced or repaired, they do it. So that right there, the revenue that the city saves is huge. So then the fact that other cities are coming up and saying it it's a pat in the back for the city of Soap Lake. Yeah.
Just a few more things. We did complete maintenance on the older jet truck that we have today. It was having brake issues, so the guys were able to get that apart. Luckily enough, we were able to find parts for it. We are in the beginning to prep for winter, for the plowing season. I'm afraid it's going to be if you read the Farmer's Almanac, it's going to be a nasty one. So we are repairing one of our sanders, and we're getting all the plows hooked up, making sure all the wear plates are good on them. And finally, at the request of the mayor and our police chief, we are beginning repairs on the animal control facility that we have up at Public Works. So we're going to be going through that and getting it ready for the police department to use.
That'll be a great revenue stream too, as well. The what was the other one? Oh, the plow thing too. we may have an emergency session and or on the next session have to do with purchasing another plow for their vehicle. It's a V plow, we'll give them the ability to have that backup plow that they do need. And it's more maneuverable, so we can start doing alleys, which haven't been able to do in the past at the volume. We can set a side by side down it, but it's gonna take a lot of work. It's not gonna be feasible. If we have a V plow, then we're gonna be able to go down all streets, knock it out at once and be done. And then so far, the quote that we've been getting is around $12,055. That's fully installed. But we will get the proper quotes for you to go with it, as well as other quotes, and bring it to you next council. In the event that we do get a huge snow, then we'll just have an emergency session to get approval.
And to add on to what Peter said about that, my fear is we've got a plow truck that's a 2005. We've got a Dodge that we think we've got some issues ironed out on it. But last year, 3 trucks, we were quite a while getting the road cleared. So if I lose one of those trucks this winter, it's not going to be, we're not going to be able to get the roads cleared as fast as we should. And the truck that we're looking at putting this plow on is the Duramax, which is the newest truck in the fleet. So that's going to be the most reliable truck. That's why we're looking at doing the V plow on that one. And then if we do have an issue with the other ones, we're still able to have 3 trucks on the road. So that's why we're looking at that option.
All right, we're gonna move on over here to Chief Britton.
Good evening. So it's still dry out there apparently. On October 6th, we were dispatched to a 2-acre fire that went to 65 acres. We had to call in mutual aid from throughout the county. So that just shows that, hey, the guys are on an illegal burn right now. So I guess it would be my recommendation to the citizens to kind of watch what we're burning right now. So call volume is up 20% from last year. Community engagement last week was a fire prevention week. We visited the 3rd grade classrooms at Soap Lake Elementary. And we also did a story time at the Soap Lake Library, which was a great hit. Training, or 3 members are maintaining an A average in the Columbia River Fire Academy. And we're working on getting, we've got about 6 new members on our volunteer force that we're working, getting through EVIT training. I'll be attending the Washington State Fire Commissioners Conference in Tulalip here next week. We did swear in a new commissioner on October 8th. Bruce Wilson is going to replace longstanding Commissioner Lenny Nelson. So we're excited about having him aboard and partnering with him. Our OTEP program through the state, Washington State Department of Health has been accepted to go to advanced EMT. So we're pretty excited about that as well. And we currently have 2 additional members finishing up clinicals for their advanced EMT, and we hope to be 100% advanced EMT level by the end of the year. So we're raising our service level for you guys. Well, come see me if you have any questions. Every Thursday I'll be down at Cloudview. Have a cup of coffee. Thanks.
We will do that again. Chief Kennedy.
Today the boys finished up their rifle training today, so next week they'll be carrying rifles in their vehicles. Like Eli said, we worked on the dog pound the other day. Well, hopefully tomorrow or next week we'll go visit another facility and kind of right same as what they kind of do. Put a partition in the middle, so rather than just 4 pins, we can have 8 pins if needed. We've had an extreme amount more of aggressive dogs that we're dealing with. By next week, we should have all the potentially dangerous and dangerous forms completed, so we can start using those to get those dogs off the street. Eli started changing our oil in our vehicles, which is saving us between $100 to $200 per vehicle. And after the meeting tonight, we brought cake for Harold. This is Harold's last evening tonight with us until next year, so he can catch up on his paperwork that will stay for him all year. So I just want to say thank you for all the volunteer work you've done for the city. That's it.
Obviously, I have nothing. My year has pretty much been done. But I am looking forward to next year, 2026, to continue, try to help make the city a better, more beautiful and informed place where we don't have to worry about weeds and dogs.
Thanks.
Thank you for everybody for being supportive of code enforcement and sharing your concerns and ideas. And it all helps. I thank you.
We'll get some clap. We are keeping his inbox open so we can send pictures.
I can order it, I can, that's right.
All right, we're gonna move on to reports and standing and special committee. We'll move over to the, we'll start with you, Ms. Gorman.
Well, the LOC, met, the Lake Liaison Committee, met the first Friday, and, we did decide that, we're gonna, suggest that the city, put in the, information request to the irrigation district. And for those of you who, weren't part of, hearing what that information request is about, it's about, data that was part of the 1970s, when the Quincy Irrigation District took over, measurements in the lake. And, Roger found, the man who's in charge, Roger, Sunichson, looked it up, and there's a lot of data that we have not gotten the raw data for. We just get the summaries on an annual basis since the US government has, I think it began in the 76 maybe, for them to send us an annual report, the city, as well as the Soap Lake Conservancy. So that's good news. And that'll probably next month, you'll hear I'll report that we've got the data. So that's a good thing.
Sure, thank you so much.
Oh, and can I also do this Friday is the Conservancy meeting. So it's the first Friday is the committee that is part of the city council committee. And the third Friday is the nonprofit that's been in existence before my time. I think in '99 it was incorporated, and it's done a lot of good for the lake. So the citizens, you're all welcome to come. It's at 1:30 in this room on the third Friday. Thank you.
Thank you. Chambers?
All right, we've been working on trick or treat again, reminding the public, come out, support the event, come out with your car, decorate it, or just come out and enjoy the evening. There's gonna be a lot going on. Our first responders, fire department, police department will be out there, and Public Works is even talking about coming out and doing something so the kids can see backhoe or whatever they care to bring down. So that'll be a good time. We actually have a 3D printer guy that's gonna be there, and he's actually gonna be giving away 3D printer toys. So we just keep getting more and more stuff. So we encourage everybody to come out, and even if you don't have a kid, come on out and check out what's going on out there. We have some other people that are gonna be there that aren't just, handing out candy. There'll be some other fun stuff going on. We'll have some family games, stuff like that. We have the shop about this weekend on Saturday in town. There'll be sidewalk sales, different things going on with all the businesses in town. The library will have things going on. What else? We have garden club. We'll have a few plants for sale and membership sign up, things like that. So we have that also going. Winterfest. So this year Winterfest, thanks to Soak Lake Spa and Resort. We have Travis here tonight. Last time we had Lawrence. We will actually have Santa will be down at the bistro. And we'll have McKay's doing their hot chocolate and stuff. And the resort is actually going to have an extra surprise possibly for the kids this year to do while they're there. Plus we'll have the school doing what they normally do. We will have made sure this year I've actually got more presents than last year. So every child will go home with a present. 0 to 18. We encourage teenagers. We want them to feel part of this community also. The other part is our Santa and Mrs. Claus, who are new. They actually are a law enforcement couple coming from Alaska, will be down here to do this. They will be traveling to McKay's. And this year, Santa will be giving every resident a present and card. So we want them to feel part of everything too. And those of the residents that are able to attend will probably be brought over also down to Winterfest so they can be a part of things. Lastly, we're working on a lantern festival in February 21st. That'll be at the resort. So that's an upcoming kind of fun thing to do for Chinese New Year. So details will be going out on that also. But that'll be something that we'll be doing at the resort. So be looking out for that information.
Thank you very much. And Creative District?
Hey, 2 Saturdays ago on the 4th, we had our Creative District celebration here at the senior center. We had really nice food brought in by Mi Cochinita and by Cloudview. So we had a nice variety of food too. And there was wine and other beverages offered. Millbrandt provided some of the wine. So we had really nice support from some of our businesses there. We had displays. One was for the Healing Water sculpture. We had a video of the interviews that were done and the kind of the history of that coming to being. And there was the maquette, the original small version of the statue here. And then there were documents that showed how that sculpture was placed. So it was oriented correctly to function as a true sundial. I guess that was quite the endeavor. But let's see. And then we had a display for the James building, kind of schematics for what we would like to see happen in that building. Kind of an original concept. And then after the workshop, community workshop that we had, showed there's a lot of collaboration there or consensus on how that building could be used. Maybe a little different take on it, but basically kind of the same idea. So we're on the right track there. Masters Theater, unfortunately, they were going to come and do a presentation of one of the songs they have, but the lead singer was becoming a father, so he had other priorities, but they did leave some posters and things. The community quilt that was done several years ago was on display. It's a beautiful thing that community came together and created. That will be at Gate 17 Resort, retreat place, excuse me. So it will be visible, as will that maquette for the Healing Water sculpture. It's on display at Gate 17 also. Then we have sitting in the corner over here, overlooking our raffle tables, Treetop. One of the infamous character from the Matthew Sullivan Midnight in Salt Lake book, which the book reading or signing for that was one of the Creative District's first collaborations with the library here. So that was kind of a fun thing, to have. And then we have the displays by some of the local artists. I know many of you know Kate Buchanan has some pieces here. And back to that community collaboration, we're going to have a tile painting project done. Lori Smythe is overseeing that. You can register for that online at the Friends of Laura Grand Coulee Community, our Creative District Creative Community. That will be held here October 22nd between 6 and 7:30, but you do kind of have to pre-register. If you need to call you can just reach out through the Friends of the Laura Grant Cooley website. And then Ruth Ann gave a recap of the last several years that, you know, putting this creative district together. And there's been a lot of work and many people's commitment to that. We talked about some of the things moving forward are developing a distinctive creative district signage that would collaborate or coordinate with the wayfinding for the city. So we want to get that ball rolling because planning, I know, takes a long time. And then there's plans for the revitalization of the human water sculpture. It needs some maintenance, some attention. There's a few things I'm sure people have noticed. So that's a big project. And it's also a great way to highlight our lake and the healing waters that we have here. So, and then we, as always, will continue looking to support and collaborate with Masters Theater, the library, our businesses in the district, and also to find ways to bring those satellite occupations and businesses in, you know, to promote them as well. So, okay, I think that's it.
Just one more thing. So the Lead Summit reached out to the city and they talked to me. One of their keynote speakers is not able to speak at the Lead Summit coming up here soon in November. They asked me, do you think that would be a good idea? Maybe the Creative District would like to get involved. So then I reached out to Kayleen. She will be a keynote speaker at the Lead Summit. So I'm really excited about that to promote Soap Lake and the Creative District for the whole county. Yeah, so it's gonna be a great
That
endeavor.
collaboration between communities is really, we're working with Moses Lake and Ellensburg as kind of sister creative districts. So all of us working together and make us bigger right here in the heart of the state. So we're excited.
Thank you very much. Anything from the utility committee? No? All right. Any more special and standing committees? No? All right, we'll move on to public comment. Comments limited to 3 minutes per person for the matters that are on the agenda or within the authority of the council. And we have one comment here that's handed in, so.
This from Nels Board, go to Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan Cox termination appeal process. At April 14th Civil Service Commission meeting, all parties agreed legal discoveries would be presented on June 1st. Depositions completed by August 22nd, pre-hearing presentations September 15th, and hearings to begin on September 22nd. As far as the public knows, none of that occurred. Was the procedure completed in private? Has the city incurred any expenses? Will the procedure follow into 2026? Will there be an expense for this presented this Saturday at the budget review? Interim Planning Department. Soap Lake is in the process of mitigating several construction projects costing developers tens of millions of dollars, as well as millions more in planning, construction, and ongoing local business opportunities. An error, decision, or missed deadline could jeopardize our coffers. We need a staff of trained and experienced planners and engineers immediately to safeguard us while a permanent planning department is being formed. Will our interim planning department costs be reflected in this year's ongoing monthly budget reviews, and will 2026 planning department expenses be listed in this Saturday's budget review? Also, the general fund projection sheets number 9 and 13 are confusing. A clarification would be helpful, along with a side-by-side expense projection. Your cure for the ordinary. Has the payment for use of the slogan been made and its use offered at the Chamber and Creative District? This has been discussed for several months, and designs featuring the phrase are on hold. The mayor is not running unopposed. The statement of being unopposed could create confusion on balloting and tilt the table to the mayor's advantage. Please consider a public correction. If the write-in candidate is not qualified, please state so. She has staked her claim here, investing in home and business, and to my knowledge is not deficient in any quality to remove her from write-in status on November 4th. Thank you. If any of my statements are incorrect or misleading, please let me know.
Okay. All right, we're opening up the more public comments. Would anyone like to come up and make a public comment? Cody?
This is just a quick one. I know the budget planning is still in process, and there were just a couple things, especially in regards to tourism, I'd like to be thought about, because I know you guys have talked about putting more lights in. I've done a little bit of research on dark sky compliant lighting, and I think it would be beneficial in our community if that's something we can kind of look at. And then also, downtown irrigation, that really needs attention. So, if we could allow for a budget or something on that. Thank you.
Downtown what?
Irrigation for the plantings down there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We can't hear you, you don't have your microphones. I can understand most of it.
Any more public comments?
Yes, sir.
Page?
My name is Thomas Page. I'm 636 Astor Street South. I just wanted to give kudos to, I can't remember your name, it's Carl. Susan for doing the street 2 weeks ago. I seen her out there 2 days in a row, sweating her ass off, so kudos for her. Saw a picture of Mrs. Woodhouse out there, but I didn't see her personally. My only problem about that is I did see the street sweeper go up down there and help clean up the mess, which was kind of cool, but I've been complaining about fucking weeds up and down the street on Division, up there on Shift and whatnot. You said it's not your priority. So I'm not gonna blame you no more, I'll blame the mayor, because technically he's your boss. He lets the managers do their job and see what's fit, right? Some of the stuff that you do don't affect my household or over half the citizens in this town. And when I find out two of the seasonal guys are full-time, which is cool, and I understand about using in-source sources and it saves a lot of money and time, but them seasonal guys are supposed to, you know, keep the streets and everything nice looking and stuff. And you got a couple hundred, if not $1,000 worth of gravel up going up Division. It's all can of shit now. You got that. You have the creative district people come in. And what's the first thing they see between the two creative district signs that they need comment? Walking the Soap Lake and it's full of weeds. It looks like crap. And you know, it only takes an hour a day for someone to go out, do a little bit every day and gets caught up. Because we all know in about less than a month, you'll be coming to work at dark and leaving at dark. It's gonna be what, 10, 20 degrees out there and it'd be too late to do it. I don't care about my dead end street with those weeds sitting at the end that haven't gotten mowed. My neighbor keeps going out there and doing it. He shouldn't have to. All the dirt roads up there. And you know, it only takes a little bit of time and we pay for a service. We're not here just giving you guys a job to do just for something to do. And then when I find out you guys are up there making offices, break rooms, a countertop for just a portion of the public, it kind of just irks me. My yard is done, but I'm not paying someone to do it. If I paid someone to do it, they did a half-half, they wouldn't get their money. And I'm just asking, you know, and it's election time, you know, about 3 weeks. So, you know, I can't fill out a complaint form and give it to you, complain about you, because I do it to your face all the time. And I figured if I come down here and say it in front of everybody, maybe you can light fire under somebody below Eli to get off their ass and do their job. That's all I'm asking. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're open for more public comments. Would anyone else like to make a public comment? Please state your name, address.
My name is Travis Bailey. I am the Chief Operating Officer for the company that owns JDA Properties, which owns Soap Lake Natural Spa and Resort. The comment I wanted to make is I just looked at the preview for people who don't know. We have done a Discovery Channel segment, an HGTV segment, and a luxury living segment, as well as a travel channel segment. And I just previewed it 2 days ago. And it's a 10-minute segment that's going to be airing 4 times. It's going to be airing next month, January, March and April. I say that because in that 10-minute segment, there's a lot of history about Soap Lake in it. There's a lot of pictures about Soap Lake in it. And it's gonna be pushed all over the world, but we're really pushing it, the west side, not that we want the west side over here, but the west side, to come over here to the resort. So, not only the west side, but multiple states. But I would like to get with council so you guys could also review it at some point and see what's going to be out there, because I believe, I hope, no, I believe, a lot of people are going to be coming here after seeing this.
Not believe they will.
They will. Also, last year, we were going to do it. We're thinking of, I'm in the process of working out the details now. We were working with the last fire chief and the last police chief, Chief Baker, and Chief Cox, on doing a Healing for Heroes here in the community and bringing the Wounded Warrior Project over here and bringing a lot of the veterans to spend 5 days at the resort. So that kind of got sidelined because of some issues here at the city. So now that we're getting everything back together, we've got new chiefs. We're looking at exploring that option again and getting with a major and a colonel that we were working with to be able to develop that plan. That plan is gonna obviously be in coordination and collaboration with us and you guys. So I wanted to bring that back up again because I'm in the process of working on that now. And that's something that I hold dear to my heart. So I think it would be great for not only us, but for the community as well. So I think that's about all I have. Anything for me? All right, thank you. If anybody needs me, I'm usually at the resort once a month at least. But you can stop in there and see the managers and they can definitely get a hold of me. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we have any more public comments? All right, time is 6:07. We're closing public comment. On to next ordinance. Is this still 1453 now? Yep, 1353, next resolution 1034. And we're open up to comments. Council?
Okay,
No
I'll start
comments?
this. Okay, good evening, council and members of the public. I'm speaking tonight to bring to attention several important issues that I believe the community deserves to be aware of. First, I want to address the presence of ring cameras and echo devices located in various areas in the city. RCW 9.7.030, Washington is a two-party consent state when it comes to audio recordings. That means it's unlawful to record private conversations without the consent of all parties involved. If these devices are active and capable of recording conversations without proper notification, that constitutes a violation of state law. There are currently no visible signs posted informing the public that these devices are in use, which further raises concerns. The public deserves transparency and assurance that their privacy is being respected in accordance with Washington state law. Second, I want to address a recent issue that was brought to my attention about an email that was sent out by our mayor to the employees containing a brief letter, a recommendation regarding the mayor's own tenure as both mayor and city administrator. When our finance clerk pointed out that according to MRSC guidelines, this type of communication violated ethical and procedural rules, a retraction was issued. While I appreciate that the retraction occurred, the situation never should have happened in the first place. It is critical that the city leadership set the example for compliance and professionalism in all communications. In addition, I have submitted public records requests regarding city credit cards accounts that have exceeded their spending limits, as well as for records relating to this Amazon account, which shows multiple purchases. I'm seeking to understand what these purchases are and why we are going over our limits at all. City credit cards should never be over limit, and there needs to be accountability and transparency in how these funds are being managed. These are simple records requests that should take no more than a few minutes to compile, but yet they have taken multiple weeks to be provided. While these records were eventually given, the delays raised concerns about transparency and responsiveness to both council and public inquiries. As this connects to a larger issue, while city council members are unable to place things directly on the agenda, Jody was instructed that all items must be first reviewed and approved by both the mayor and city attorney before they can be added. I've had my items removed. This process restricts council's ability to address matters openly and independently. Council members are elected to represent the people, and we should have the ability to bring forward issues for discussion without unnecessary gatekeeping. Third, I've been hearing from members of the public who are concerned that the council is attempting to pass ordinances that would take away residents' rights. I want to make it clear, this is not true. These statements have been made by our appointed mayor, and they are misleading. The council's purpose is to represent and protect the residents, not to take away their rights. And I believe it's important that the public hear directly from one of the elected representatives. Finally, I want to address the ongoing issue of how I and others have been treated by the appointed mayor. I'm tired of being accused and slandered simply for asking questions and seeking information about city operations and finances. And I approached the mayor respectfully in the past, only to have him storm out of meetings or hang up on me during these phone calls and refuse to engage in professional dialogue. I even have a text message documenting this interaction. The mayor often says his door is open to everyone, but in reality, it's only open to those who do not question or challenge him. This lack of transparency and unwillingness to communicate cannot continue. As council members, it's our responsibility to ask questions, represent the public, and ensure accountability. That is not interfering with city business. This is city business. I'm asking for more openness, more professionalism, and more respect for the process of public service. The people of this city deserve nothing less. Thank you.
Thank you. Carlson, would you have any comments?
Nope, I'm good.
Kind of going off of what she said, I've had the same issue with the mayor. I feel the public needs to know. It seems to me if it's something that he doesn't want to hear or doesn't want to answer, he likes to storm off. I've had some interactions with him in the last 2 days, stating that I don't want to participate. But a lot of the issue that I'm having right now is there's a lot of promises being made that are not followed through in this community. And so with that being said, I would like it to be on record that I do not have any confidence in Peter Sharp's ability to lead the city in the future. Thank you.
Okay, I have a question, actually. I have some statements, but also a question. I think there are some grant deadlines that have been coming up for the climate planning elements. I think the city may have already applied for it, but I didn't know if we followed through on that.
We are going to do that. Me and the city attorney already talked about that today. Yeah.
Okay, and then what about the other one for the periodic update grants, the comprehensive plan? We only have till October 17th.
Correct. Yeah. We are all working on all those too as well. Yeah.
And we'll meet the deadline for that. Okay, good. Another question, have I been added to the bank account yet?
Yep, I'm waiting for the record from Banner Bank, and then we'll all have to sign all over again.
And then after we have our workshop on the 18th, I don't have the next schedule in front of me. When will we meet again after that?
I'd have to look at the schedule.
We have another public hearing scheduled for the November 19th, which would be the final public, or that would be the preliminary budget presentation, November 19th. And then the final budget, he has it scheduled for December 3rd, public hearing or council meeting.
What is the date?
December 3rd.
December?
And November 19th would be the preliminary budget. December 3rd would be the final budget. We don't have a schedule in here for any more like workshops or anything, so
I didn't think so.
they could be
'Cause I
added.
know there's gonna be several that can't attend, so I
Oh.
don't know that, but you're gonna have it.
Yeah, so the event that you can't attend some of these meetings, you can either let me know what things you want to add to them or give to him so he can put it on it. I can send you a Zoom link too, so you can be here if you have to. If you're not, I'll upload it immediately to the city's website, and then you'll have to be able to view that for yourselves too as well.
Okay, and now I just have some general statements. I just want to remind the public of some things that have occurred in the past several months. Council did never have a public vote to approve Peter as the city administrator. When Chief Cox was the city administrator acting, he did have a contract. We do not have a contract with Peter. Jeff Valentine was hired initially as a contract person for $5,000 a month. He's done an excellent job. I have no problem with him, but we never had a public vote to make him a full-time city employee or the finance director.
Who's the him on there?
Jeff Valentine.
Okay.
I think he still is. I haven't seen a rejection though from his thing, but clearly he must be still working, so.
When we went through the process of hiring the chief candidate, unfortunately, there was an announcement in a news source prior to the meeting where the council did the approval for the chief. Again, nothing against the chief, just another procedure not followed. We're talking about and hearing about plans for the dog park, plans for the passport office, plans for sand on the beach. None of that has ever really been brought in front of council for discussion as to how to proceed, what the money is to be spent. Again, that should be. Our city planner was just contract ended. That has been rectified now with the new contract with, and there are times when we see something on the check register and we're asking for what does that amount come to, and it's very hard to get answers. So these are just some examples of circumventing the council and ignoring the policies and procedures that we are constantly reminded of, that is our job. So that's all I'm going to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Thorne, would you have anything you'd like to comment?
I certainly would, but I'm not as prepared as it seems like people have gone before me here. I guess what I want to say is that when I disagree with the mayor, I set a time, go in and talk with him. And sometimes there's things I don't understand, and sometimes there's things that he knows that he leads me to look up, and then I learn. This is my first time on the city council. Although I did do some trainings, and so what I'm saying is there's a lot of anger and angst that I'm feeling from the city council tonight. And anger is not something that I usually, although I know I went in to Peter and told him I was the other day, but I don't usually get angry. What I do is I search for answers, and directly with him or with him or with him, and I'm bound to do it with you and with Jody. I go to the person and who I think has answers. Recently, Kayleen's been on my list. And ask for the source of their information and where that comes from. Oh, yeah, the attorney has also been on my list. Although I have to, usually I talk with Peter first because I don't want to she's billable, even if city council, that's okay. She being the attorney, so I don't bother her, I catch her here. I'm also troubled that, let me first preface this. My understanding about what the city council positions are, for budget items, budget for the city. That's our primary responsibility, and that we serve on committees that we decide to establish. And that the city staff relate to the mayor. And the mayor runs the city, not the council. The council is responsible for ordinances. We establish those, and primarily how we impact the city is that we set the budget. That's where we come in. The other thing I want to comment on is when the city council goes way into the back room there, it's not really smoky back there. But we're not allowed to share anything that goes on back there in what are called executive sessions. So I usually check out, and I do a lot of reading of ordinances and those kinds of things. But it makes me feel primarily sad that there's so much anger. I spent 40 years counseling people. And my experience with anger is that it's only useful to the person who's experiencing it. And that if they can, like when I experience anger, I think, what's going on? What do I really need to do to release this? What do I need to do in my life? So that I can talk to whoever I'm angry with and work it out. So otherwise it just becomes push, pull, push, pull. So I'm sorry, I'm glad you spoke up the way you have tonight. And my experience with the mayor is that he's smart, he knows a lot, he researches well, and he loves the city. And he loves what's being created in the city and the future. And I believe him. I believe him. He cares for, I'm going to share something. I spend a lot of time talking with the staff in the city hall. When I have questions, I go there. because I'm new on the city council. Although I did some committees before, looking at John. And I could be talking with Coley in her office. And he'll go to the windows. He likes being out. He's the mayor that is in the streets. There's movies about that. That's how I see him. And I have not, I've heard us when we were in the executive sessions. I think that we make decisions about things that, I don't know if anybody does it. Maybe this is a question for you, Jody. We're not allowed to write things down in there, is what I understand. And, but I remember what we decided in those meetings very differently than what has been described here.
Maybe decided is not the correct word. How about discussed? Because we don't take action in executive session. We discuss in executive session.
Don't correct him, Julie.
No, I understand that.
That one. We just don't just say it.
Julie, I understand that that's the case. However, those discussions lean one way or another. And on one occasion, we brought out to this table something that we decided to stay and put on the agenda. So it's discussion, but I come away with sort of my own decisions about the directions I want to take, and each person, I assume, comes away with that. That's back in the executive sessions. So I understand that, Julie, that and that's what I was trying to do, is to create something that we can then put on the agenda. So, your responses to me.
It's just because, and you'll learn this.
Because we cannot make a decision.
We are not allowed.
I understand that.
That's why Julie's getting you on that, because
This is an example of what I am talking about.
Yes.
So I have the floor, and thank you, Julie. I do understand that, and that's why I started that process of bringing something out that we can move forward.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
No, nothing I can say.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Couple other new developments coming in is me and Eli in the city have been working with a developer out of Moses Lake that is coming in and has been purchasing properties for affordable housing. We think this is going to be a great asset to the city, and he is looking at other properties to purchase, multi-dwellings as well as commercial properties. He has purchased a building that's a couple down from the fire and main, and he's doing getting the permit process started for renovations for affordable housing for residents of Soap Lake. They've exhausted their resources in Moses. They're looking for a place to spread out for growth. And so I think Soap Lake is a great asset for that. Move on to that. The Lead Summit, please go to that. I appreciate all you speaking tonight. I appreciate your frustrations. I am always available. I do. I put my time in. I make sure of it. If there's discussions or people talking in the background, I can guarantee you it's not from me. I do not like to talk about things like that. I don't like to boast. I will not do that. So if someone says it's from me, it's not from me. Regarding an email that was sent out, that was because we are doing assessments, has nothing to do with the election, and I made it very clear. I would like people to realize, and staff and employees of the city, hey, as a person, how am I doing? Is there something I can do better for you? As you know, as the mayor, nothing to do with election whatsoever. And you don't even have to put your name on it. You'd want to do a product review or a review of yourself. Hey, if there's something I'm doing that doesn't work for you, please let me know. But there's something I'm not doing properly for code enforcement, let me know. People, I mean, when me and Eli first met, it was a little different, a little weird, but now we understand each other. I know exactly how to, perceive her to come to Eli for certain things. So everyone's different. That's what I was looking for. But if you do have questions, please feel free to reach out. I apologize if you guys feel the way you do, but I disagree with a lot of things that you said here tonight, but I do respect you speaking up. All right, we're ending comments. It is 6:31.
I put a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Thank you.
Good night.